Hi, God bless everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to cut and stitch this women's trouser pants. So if you want to see how I did this, then definitely keep on watching. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and join us. So first of all, I have my pattern paper in front of me. Now we are going to be marking out 2 inches on top of the pattern paper. Now this is going to come back in because we're going to be using a band on this. So whilst placing in the band, we're going to be marking out this 2-inch in that. Alright, so moving on, what we are going to do next is to mark out our waist to hip points. So right now I'm going to be marking mine. Then after doing that, I'll mark it also across the paper, and then I'll rule the line connecting those points together. So the next thing we are going to be doing is to mark out from our waistline to the crotch line. So right now, remember we still took out the 2 inches from the waist. So we are still going to be doing that, and we are going to mark out the points on our crotch line. Then we are going to connect those points together. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is to mark out our thigh point. So right now we are going to mark out from our from our crotch line, we're going to mark out 4 inches downwards. Okay, so that's what I'm doing on mine right now, and I'm going to be connecting those lines together. All right, so moving forward, the next thing that we are going to do is to label this point so that we'll not forget which point is which. So right now I'm just marking out my hip point, my crotch line, and also my thigh line. All right, so okay, so now what we are going to be doing next is for us to divide our hip measurement by 4, and then we are going to mark that out, and then we'll include 2 inches to that. Okay, just serving as an allowance. So right now you're going to move down to the crouch point. So whatever it is that we had on the hip point, okay, that is including the 2 inches that we added, we are going to be marking that out on the crouch line. Now we are going to be inserting another 2 inch on top of that. Then we are going to connect this line directly to the end of the paper that is on top of it. Now from the 2-inch point on the crouch line, on the hip line, we are going to be making a curve. So if you have a curve ruler, you can definitely make use of that right now. We're going to be making that curve down to the 2-inch that we added in the crouch line. The next thing is for us to mark our waist point. So we're going to divide our waist by 4. We are going to mark that out, including 1 inch for that, and also another 1 inch or 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. So right now, on the last point that we made, we are going to be connecting that line directly to our hip point. So our hip is not that straight. Okay, we have a little bit of curve to it. So I'm just going to be using my free hands and then try to make that curve to that side. Now the next thing that we are going to be doing is to mark out our thigh points. So you're going to measure around your thigh, and then you divide that by 2, and then you mark the point out. Now you're going to be including 1.5 inch to that, or 1 inch depending on how wide your lap is. So the next thing you're going to be doing is to connect those 2 points together. So right now what I'm going to be doing is to place my ruler, and then I'll connect that point to my crouch line. All right, so as you can see, the pattern is already coming together little by little. So right now the next thing I'm going to be doing, still removing the 2 inches that we left on top of the paper, we are going to mark from that point to our knee point. So whatever it is that you had for yourself, you can just mark that out there. Now from that very particular point, you are going to mark directly down to your ankle point. Okay, distance from your knee to your ankle, which is going to serve as the full length of the trouser. So right now what we are doing is connecting these lines directly to the line that we had at the thigh point. Okay, since this is not going to be a fitted trouser, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but just look at what I am doing. So right now I am marking out around my knee point, and I'll divide that by 4, and I'll also include 1.5 inches to the side. All right, so I'm also doing the same thing also to the ankle point. So that's why I am marking this out right now. So you can also go ahead and do that on your own paper. Then right now you're going to connect that line together, and then we are going to cut it out. It's as simple as that, guys. So right now what we are doing now, we are cutting out for the front pieces. So this is the front piece, and also while cutting, remember to add an allowance to this lower part, so we can be able to have something to fold it in. So we're just going to use our marker and make this more bold so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so moving on to the back, guys. Right now, what you're going to be doing on the waist point, you are going to mark out 2 inches outwards, just like what you're seeing me doing right now. Then you're going to connect that line, okay, to the waist point, and also connect the line to the top part of the paper. Now from that point, now you're going to mark your waist measurement divided by 4. Then you're going to roll that line directly slightly towards this other pattern that is on top. Okay, I'm sorry I couldn't really show. I didn't know my camera wasn't really capturing that part, but it's a slant drawing down to where you have the front pattern on top of that one. So yeah, that is just it. That will now form the waist point for the front. So right now I'm just going to be marking out 2 inches on the other pattern, okay, which is the back pattern. You're going to add 2 inches all around it down to your ankle point. Then you just cut that out. So once you do that, your back piece is ready. And also you cut out the excess that you had towards the hip point. So with that, your back piece is definitely ready. All right. Okay, so moving on, what you're going to be doing now is to connect these lines down to your hip point, just like what we did on the front panel. Then we are going to cut that out. And also you have to arrange this, making sure that the hip also aligns with the hip on the back. Then you cut out the excess that you have on the waist point. So as you can see, that's what I was talking about on the waistline when I said you have to connect the lines in a slant position. So why that is happening is because, you know, after cutting out a trouser, the back used to look like it wants to look open, okay? It's not fitted on your back. So with this increase at the back, is going to help you after fixing your band. It will help and make it much more fitted at the back for you, okay, instead of making it look wider or lower. So the next thing is for us to cut it out on the fabric. So I've placed it on the fabric, and it's just going to be as simple as what you're seeing right now. So the next thing is for us to connect a straight line. This is the only thing we are adding to this pattern, okay, because the pattern was made to make a fitted trouser for us. Not really fitted, but something much more, you know, a little bit condensed. Let me just put it that way. But then the one I'm actually trying to make right now, because I later found out that I want to make it a little bit more bigger, okay, so that's why I'm adding this to the side. So right now you're going to be marking out these points from the crouch line, don't forget. Then you're going to connect that line directly to your ankle point, not outside the ankle point, okay? You're not adding anything to the ankle. The ankle is just how it's supposed to be. So you're going to connect the line from the crouch line down. So right now toward this other end, okay, so you can see that there is still an allowance in front of me. So right now what I'm going to be doing at this allowance position is just for me to cut out a little bit of that. The remaining part is going to save as our sewing allowance. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is just for us to cut this out on the waist point, on our crouch line, and also the length towards the other side. We're just going to go ahead and then cut that out. So also remember that while cutting this out, you're going to be cutting this out on fold. So if you can't cut this out on fold, it's definitely okay if you cut them out in singles, okay? So either ways that you want to do it is not a problem. So right now you're just going to go ahead and then label this, because this is both fronts, because we need to have 2 pieces for the front and also 2 pieces for the back, making it 4 pieces all together. So right now you're marking out the front, just indicating that this is the front piece. All right, so moving to the back point, here is what we're going to do. So still as what we did in front, we're just going to do the same thing also to the back and also cut them out. Moving on to the front part, we are going to be sewing down the crouch line in front. So we're going to be putting the crouch lines together, and then you're going to sew that down. And also we're going to be doing the same thing to the back point. Just place them right sides together and then we sew it down. So after doing that, this is what it's going to be looking like so far. So right now you're going to be placing the back piece on top of the front piece, and then we are going to mark out where we are going to be inserting our zip by the side. Then after doing that, you're going to be closing the side seams, and also you're going to close your inner thigh seam using the 1.5 inches that you inserted as a seam allowance, or 1 inch that you insert as a seam allowance. Then also coming down to the ankle point, you're going to be folding that in using the double bending method. That is either 1 inch, okay, or half inches, depending on how long you wanted yours to be. Then also we are going to close the thigh area, and yeah, that should save it. Then we'll come back and then we'll continue. So right now, after inserting my own zips, okay, and also closing around the whole area, we are going to be inserting our waistband. So right now at this point, what I'm going to be doing is, before inserting the waistband, please go ahead and then wear this first of all, just to try it out at the mirror and see where you're supposed to do some touch-ups, that's if there's any. Then after doing the touch-up, then you now come back and then insert your waistband. So first of all, you're going to close this spot. So just so you're wondering, the waistband is 2.5 inch. So the 2.5 inches, the half inches I'm actually including into this is so that I can have what to use and sew this down. Okay, so that is just it. So right now, after sewing that edge, just like I showed before, I'm trying to illustrate this so that you understand. You'll now bring it on top of your trouser like this, and then you end up folding this area in, and also folding the area in front also in. Okay, bear it in mind that this front part that looks like it's opened has been closed earlier, don't forget. Then after folding that in, you end up sewing it down. So after that, this is what we have, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, do well to give me a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you have anything that you want me to show you guys or illustrate for you, please do well to send me a DM on my Instagram at @therealRoni7. Then I will see the style and I will make a video like this just for you guys. So definitely don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel, and turn on your post notification bell so that you will be notified anytime I upload a new video. I can't even talk. All right, guys, so that is it for this tutorial, guys. See you guys on my next one. Bye, guys.